Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the second episode of Isekai Maou to Shoukan Shoujo no Dorei Majutsu. And just so you guys know, I did make an effort to try to prevent the people I live with from being loud and obnoxious while I record videos, but I don't think that's going to work at all, so you probably will hear people in the background being loud and obnoxious like I said. Unfortunately, there's really nothing I can do about that. It's just the sad fact of summer and children out of school and all that. So I do apologize for that. Anyway, in the last episode, we had Diablo. We got to see his character, what he's like, and how his life kind of changed a little bit when suddenly he kind of got transported into the game he was so good at. He does have his nifty little magic repelling ring, which is definitely coming in handy. It did prevent him from being a slave to Catgirl, Rem, and the elf. Of course, it wouldn't be the worst fate ever, but I think it's better to be the one with them being his slaves. Like, if you had to choose one of those options, unless you're a masochist, this would probably be the preferable one. But yeah, I'd say it's a pretty good situation he's in now, and yeah, pretty much gonna see how he adapts to his new life, I suppose. His overpowered slave owner harem life thing he's got going on, so yeah, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, play. Starting at the end. I assume he'll wake up in a wonderful position, as he tends to. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I'm watching the uncensored version. I probably should have mentioned that beforehand. I mean, I think it's safe to say it's the game. You should look to your left and right side, because that's really where the real action is. Yep, that's her. Okay, don't squeeze it to death. That poor Opie. Yeah, of course. It's not gonna be that easy to let go. I like how she can just sleep through that. What about the other side? That's the important side. I mean, there's less to grab, of course, but... your right hand's betrayed you as well, and right hand knows what's up. It's not often you get to experience plot and justice at the same time. But yeah, that's really how you wake yourself up in the morning. It's not what it looks like, I'm just fondling it for fun. There she goes. But you're my slave. This is to be expected. I don't see that happening. Nyan Deska indeed. How is she gonna react? A little bit embarrassing, I suppose. So I can grab it. Yes, I don't think that's probably what you should have said, but true. Yeah, it's how I begin the series, this episode, rather. Of course, in that shot, her shorts are pulled down a bit, so clearly that night he was a bit more bold. Which makes sense, the longer you get to know them and interact with them, the more bold you'll get. We haven't seen her yet, or her. So some characters to meet, and Bunny Girl, who is really the flat character. Like, putting Rem to shame on the flat spectrum. I forgot how great the outfits in the show were. Yeah, we found out some things about Rem last episode. Like the fact that she has a demon lord sealed within her. I'm definitely looking forward to meeting some of these characters. And by characters, I mean girls. But yeah, I don't see... It's hard to disappoint you, Elf, but I don't see Diablo accepting one of his slaves as his master. I don't see that happening. And yeah, this is the part you'll want to pause if you're trying to... if you're trying to sync this with the official version. Go Team Rem Opie. Yeah, do you still holding that grudge? Your face begs to differ. Yeah, you're quite obviously mad. Just play with her ears, I'll cheer her up. Bunny girls. Yeah, she's a Pantherian as elves, just like the other girl. Really hard to make eye contact with her, isn't it? Maybe they're not allowed in the city? Oh, okay. Makes sense. Well, they seem to have a problem with the fact that you're a demi-human. I assume so. You said that in a weird way. Oh. Not bad. Okay, so they're gonna find out how overpowered he is. Yeah, I don't think you're as confident as you're trying to sound. I mean, here we go. Here's that scene. The argument. That shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, we can just beat up some dragons, take some loot. Okay. I think you're scarier than anyone else here. Yeah, as long as you're nowhere near the violence and that shady guy over there. I'll eventually remember your name, Elf Girl. But Elf rolls more off the tongue. Another stacked lady. It's not because I can't or anything, it's just I'm far too important and busy to do it. If you want to feel that way, go for it. Oh, blood seal. It's pretty serious business. Yeah, I don't think that's... I feel like you have more of a problem with it than you're letting on. Come on. Don't be a baby. Ah! I think you did too much. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Oh, God. Like a touchscreen. Oh, we're getting something. Is it? I have no frame of reference. Of course it does. Level 15? Oh. Oh, it's not bad at all. I was expecting like level 15 or 20 at most. Yeah, you were gonna pass run, I knew that. Well, you've passed run one way, I guess. Yeah, it's definitely not bad. Nothing to be ashamed of. But yeah, he should be the fun one. Mr. Level 150. Yeah. This doesn't look like it's a hand with a ring, so I don't think that would cause a problem. Oh, okay, maybe it'll cause a problem anyway. You're terrifying the workers. Remind of a certain punchy bag scene from Dragon Ball Z. Oh, dang, there she is. That's an outfit. Sylvie. A guild master. Tell me why you're trying to break my establishments. Yeah, it makes sense. He's too strong. This place probably isn't best for a level of power. Yes. So we need to go somewhere else, basically. uh, good point. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Yeah. Doesn't have quite as much pride as you might think. I mean, if the girl's that cute, I have no problem with her being weaker than me. Her shirts might be my favorite outfit so far, although I do really like Rem's. I can see Rem checking out that ass. Quite definitely get behind that. Seems fine, just take on the Basilisk. I'm sure that's nothing we can't handle. I would assume so. Yeah, that girl. The one with the interesting lips that I didn't really notice until it was pointed out to me. Yeah, he can just one-punch it. Remembering certain memories. That amazing scene. Very true. You don't have portals here. Or teleportation? Well, this is gonna be tedious. It's basic magic in a video game. Usually for just fast traveling. Wow. Yeah, only one part of me is fat, and it's the kind of fat a lot of guys like. Nobody would be jealous of those things. Oh. Wow. You could at least get a horse or something. But yeah, that's what people would call a game without fast travel these days. Oh. Well, better late than never. I assume the graphics have a bit of a got a pretty much an enhancements, like 4K, maybe an 8K. Oh, I think it's here. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, something's going on here. I'm not sure why they would ambush you, which is why I'm confused. At least she's helpful in that regard. Don't burn down the forest, but yeah. I think we got him. Uh, but yeah, you're still worried about burning down the forest. This is the first time they actually get to see him use magic like that, so very impressed they are. It's all elves. Yeah, it's like all elves. Rescue? I don't think she's in trouble. Oh, okay. They take issue with the fact that she's now a slave, okay. Apparently she's important. I can see why they would take issue with the slave thing then. Oh, you just remembered that. I have an excuse because I never played the game, but you don't. Yeah, he's gonna keep them. He's not gonna trade them. uh, I can tell. uh, Well then. This plot point. Very cliche, but whatever. Yeah, don't let the color fool you. I am indeed a strong, independent elf that don't need no master. Good luck with that. Diablo alone could take you guys. Nice, some bonding between the girls. Here we go. Only 3. Yeah. He didn't choose the slave life chose him. Or slaver. Yeah, she's like level 30. She's a pretty big deal. It actually does explain why she wasn't an adventurer until now if she was royalty. Sheltered. Yes, by far the biggest mistake. Possibly the last one you'll ever make. I mean, they're probably not very good. Not even any enchantments or anything. Apparently not. Why, it doesn't have the expansion? It's like the vanilla version of the game. At least that was my assumption earlier when he first mentioned this. It'd be funny if it was true. In other words, wind arrows. But not much. I see. I don't think it's as bad of a situation as you seem to think it is, Shera. Greenwood. It's not a problem, I guarantee you. Yep, you don't know who you're messing with. I think I almost felt that. Your worst nightmare. You tell him. Tell him just who they're messing with. Oh wow, that's a cool spell. No pun intended. That's awesome actually. I want that. Just freeze everything around you. Don't worry, I'll warm you girls up later. Back at the end. Not so tough now, are you guys? You make elves look bad. Plebeian. Of course. Who else would it be? Yeah, I don't believe you. Of course, the guy's racist to boot. Yeah, you really don't want to get on someone's bad side if they're him. Yeah. Yes, you are, and that's a really terrible counter-argument. Well, he's pathetic. I wonder if we'll see this Nissan at some point. Yes, she belongs to me now. It's like she's scolding him. Yep. You gotta warm up back at the inn after all. And get some food, yeah. I swear half of what Shera does is eat. She did say that. But we're making progress, that's what matters. We'll have our 3-way soon enough. That's really cute, Rem. You're adorable. Yeah, we're all Nakama, it's great. Back of the inn. Okay, I was about to ask where Rem was. Hopefully nothing happened to her. Yeah, being alone with a girl, is there a more nerve-wracking situation to be in? Is she gonna get her alone loot time this time? Okay. But yeah, when your life's at stake, it's... yeah, you wouldn't go out of your way to fight stuff. Yeah, it's much harder to level up when you're in hardcore mode. Yeah, death wasn't a big deal. There's usually life penalties for death in MMOs. I am curious when we'll really dive into that. Here we go. It's, I mean, if there's a Demon Lord seal inside of you, it's gonna be on your mind a lot. Yes, I'm choosing Rem, I'm sorry to tell you, but she is best girl. I do like you, but you never stood a chance at best girl. My god, a girl's touching me, I don't know how to deal with this. Do I grab her opie again? And I'll choose Rem as well. Oof. Oh man, now he's the one on bottom. How the tables have turned. But he did take my advice, he grabbed them again. It's hard not to when they're that enormous. And I will explain this to you as I fondle. It's really driving my point home. Well, yeah, you two obey me. You're kind of losing your momentum. Yeah, the D, specifically. They're alright. I mean, my secret's out. Quite a bit bigger, but I do prefer them smaller. I'm sure there is. I can actually kind of see that little bump. Oh, he actually grabbed it. And yeah, there we go. Yeah, this might be a bit too much to survive, and Rem's now here. And again, very angry. I love her dark aura, though. It's not what it looks like. We were wrestling. Yeah, but like I said, small ones are great. Don't be bothered by that. Just a collar by itself. I guess somebody took theirs off. So many chains. You don't often see so many chains in an anime you do. I think there was some anime that had a decent amount of chains. Might have been handbreakers, I don't know. And here we go. I do love her pose there, where she's trying her hardest to make sure I can see both her boobs and her ass at the same time. I do appreciate that effort, but Rem is still Rem. Yeah, we did get to meet our guildmaster girl, our bunny girl. So that's one more girl we met. Still have not met her yet, and I do quite like her character design. She looks really good. Totally interested in learning more about her, getting more into her. And that character. I guess she's a lizard girl? I mean, she has a tail. Maybe she's a demon? I don't know. I really just want to group hug them when they're side by side in front of me like that. I love you too. Yes, that is definitely where the real struggle was, which one is better. So that was the second episode of Isekai Maou to Shoukan Shoujo no Dorei Majutsu. And this episode, we start off with our characters waking up in the end, as you usually start your day. And you pretty much have Diablo thinking about things, exactly what the world he's in now is about, similarities to the video game that he's familiar with, and, you know, differences and all that sort of thing. And then he actually full-on wakes up, realizes what his hand is doing. It's fondling Shira's giant elf Oppai, and he's having some issues getting it to stop because, yeah, like, once your hand goes there and knows that sensation, it's very hard to say, okay, hand, I know what you're touching is wonderful and it's bringing you a great amount of joy, but stop nonetheless. It's a little bit hard to stop just because you told your hand that. And then when you ask for help from your right hand, you notice your right hand's fondling the other girl next to you, and you're just, at that point, you don't know what to do. Both your hands are betraying you. You're just having all this joy on both sides, so just, yeah, becomes a pretty crazy situation. Eventually, Shira eventually woke up, and yeah, she was like, no, you can't do this until you accept me as your master, which is a very odd thing for a slave to say, but I guess it makes more sense when we realize she's like a big royalty princess deal. That explains why she would have more pride than, say, you know, the average elf slave. I preferred Rem's reaction to the situation when she woke up and her entire body went full blush mode as if she was sunburned, like severely sunburned, and she was just so embarrassed and cute, and I think she slapped him off screen afterwards, but still, I'd say her reaction was absolutely adorable, and I quite enjoyed it. Now, once everyone was awake and out of the inn, well, pretty much you got to see Rem trying to convince people that she's not angry, despite having a very angry look on her face. It doesn't quite work that way. But she tried nonetheless, and we had our fight between the two Oppais, as we do. And we're heading our way to, like, the guild, basically, to get registered and all that good stuff you usually have to do with these sort of isekai anime. And although Rem, I think, was already, you know, an adventure and all that, it's level 40, I believe she said, so she was just kind of accompanying them. It was mostly Diablo and Shira getting registered. And Shira was, well, she wanted to be, like, I'm sure, at least level 40, because that would match up with Rem and she wouldn't feel inferior to her at all, but I mean, Rem is actually an adventurer and she's been one for, I assume, a decent amount of time, so it's maybe a bit too unrealistic to expect being at her level, like, right when you start. I mean, obviously, I'm sure she's gained XP before this, that's obvious from the level she got. But still, yeah, she wouldn't be at the same level as Rem. Anyway, they got there. There was some magic mirror test thing they had to do after they did their blood seal, which Diablo had his issues with that. He was obviously very apprehensive about the idea of cutting himself and giving blood, and then he kind of overdid it, and there was more blood than intended. It splashes on the girl's face. Oh god, that was good. I like that. But yeah, he did able to do it in the end, and then they went to the magic mirror where they had to touch it, and that kind of showed them their power level, essentially, and they would tell you your level number. When Diablo touched it, it was a little bit too much for that mirror to take, which is something I kind of expected. And yeah, the guildmaster comes out, who's really cute, by the way, basically saying, hey, I don't think we're really up to your level to work with you, so maybe you'll want to go somewhere else. But he's like, no, this is fine, it's cool, don't worry about it, girl, it's all good. And yeah, it was all good. I do really like Slowey the Guildmaster. She has a very cute design, her very cute outfit, and she's just a very pleasant person to talk to. I just thought she was really cute and easy girl to get along with, the kind of person you wouldn't mind working for. So yeah, I can definitely understand him wanting to be there. I wouldn't want to leave her. So they end up getting a quest from the Mages Association, Magic Association, whatever they called it, basically to get the eyes from this red giant snake in this evil forest, pretty much. So yeah, their first real quest as an adventuring party. It was a very long walk because, as we've established, there is no teleportation magic. There are no portals. In other words, this is a terrible video game, a kusoge, as you would say if you were Japanese. And yeah, fast travel is a pretty big thing in, like, modern RPGs and stuff. Usually people will call you out on it if you don't have any kind of fast travel solution, because that is a big problem. If you never want to spend most of your time in a video game walking places more than once. Like, once you walk somewhere the first time, you don't want to have to walk there again and again and again and again. Like, obviously when you're going somewhere new, you want to walk there and see all the cool stuff, get new loot, and explore what you have to do. But once you've been to a place enough times, you know everything's there, there's nothing more to see, you're just wasting 5 minutes of your life getting to the next town. So yeah, fast travel is a pretty big thing, but what Diablo has to realize, and he is realizing, is that this isn't really a video game anymore. It obviously has many similarities to the video game, but these are still real people with real lives at stake, and there's no, like, game balance or anything. Like real life. Real life doesn't have much of a game balance, or life balance. That's why you have people with so much money that they can wipe their tears with $100 bills, and other people are lucky to have one meal every 3 days, because that's life. That's life doesn't have the benefit of having game balance and all that. So yeah, he is kind of learning that. Now we do end up finding out that this whole quest they went on is just a trap from some elves who want Shera back. They don't like the fact that she's Diablo's slave, doing adventuring stuff with him. They want her back to marry Nissan and have a baby and all that good stuff. But she doesn't want to do that. She's like, no, I want to live my life on my own, do my own things. I don't want to be tied down by all this just very cliche stuff. I usually don't have a problem with cliche stuff in anime, but that is one of those things where I'm just like, I'm tempted to facepalm. At least it was mostly dealt with pretty quickly. It doesn't seem like they're gonna like drag that out at all. I mean, it might come back into play at some point, but it seems like for the most part that plot point's been kind of resolved quickly in this episode. Pretty quickly, those elves realize what they're up against. They could not take on Diablo. He's just far too powerful for them. And we also got to see Shera and Rem also for the first time seeing what Diablo is capable of, because we know as the audience he has level 150. He leveled up in a video game where he didn't have to worry about death, so he could push himself to his limits to grind as efficiently as possible. He didn't have to worry about, oh, I died. Well, but everything's over now. He had that benefit. But they do not. So yeah, they get to see just how powerful he is using his amazing magic and just seeing what he's capable of. Of course, Diablo realized pretty quickly who orchestrated this whole thing, because only like one guy in this world who has a grudge against him that he kind of mopped the floor with last episode, but apparently he wants more. I don't know why. I guess the guy's just that stubborn. You think he would have gotten the idea the first time, but oh well, I think he does finally have the idea now. I don't think he actually is. He's definitely not remorseful at all for what he's done, but I think he might just stop at this point. That's probably the best we can hope for. I really love this ice spell. I thought that looked really cool, just all the designs and the magic circles and stuff. I think that was really cool. I mean, this fire blast thing was cool too, don't get me wrong, but I've always been more of an ice enthusiast more than fire, and I thought that was really awesome. I really enjoyed that scene we got from Rem and Shera basically after the fight was over. Shera was like, what? But you totally said you liked me earlier, and that was all that stuff, and that was a really cute little scene, because I do want my two slaves to get along well with each other, so we can have those more enjoyable three-ways, in the future, when we get to that point. But yeah, after this whole thing was resolved, we went back to the inn, and it was just Shera and Diablo. Now, as soon as I saw this, I knew, okay, last episode we had our alone time with Rem, this time we're gonna have our alone time with Shera. It's probably also gonna go in a bit of a lewd direction. And it did. You had Shera being the aggressive one, as opposed to last time, which was very much Diablo being the aggressor. And Diablo was on bottom now, and Shera was like, hey, so does that mean you chose Rem? Well, you shouldn't do that. You should choose me instead, because I'm me, and that's great. So please choose me. That was kind of how that conversation went, and Diablo wasted no time going back to fondling those wonderful oppi. And just, he did a nice chunk of that throughout the episode. And he was having a good time there as well. Unfortunately, as usually goes to this anime, Rem showed up not looking very happy at all about the situation. And just getting very upset, and yeah, that's kind of where we ended off. I really did not think they would go as far as Diablo actually grabbing her nips. That definitely caught me a little bit off guard. Obviously, it was through the clothing, so nothing too bad. But still, that was unexpected. That was a little bit unexpected. But yeah, overall, this was a great second episode. I loved it. I like how we're getting more into the world and how we are addressing the idea that, hey, this is a real world, not a video game, so people are not going to recklessly go out and fight demons to grind XP. No, they defend themselves as best they can. Maybe they do quests to put food on the table, but they're not going to go out and go out of their way to destroy epic level demons to get the maximum amount of loot and experience points. Like maybe some more hardcore people will do that with big groups, but most people, unless they're really hardcore like that, they're just going to do what they have to defend the people they care about or put bread on the table. I'm continuing to really enjoy this series, and I look forward to the next episode. Thank you for watching, and thank you Cnouki, as well as everyone else, for doing what you can to support the channel. It means a lot to me, and I hope we can continue to grow the channel together. If you want to do more to support the channel, then you can become a patron on my Patreon and get cool rewards like early access to certain videos. Have a good one.